It had been 10 years. 10 years since I'd walked away from the only place I ever called home. 10 years since I heard my mother's voice. Since I saw my father's face. Since I felt like I belonged somewhere. I thought, maybe time heals everything. That after a decade, the anger, the pain, the silence would fade. But I was wrong. Because when I came home after 10 years, my family acted like I never existed. The train slowed down as it entered my hometown. The same cracked buildings, the same sleepy streets, but it felt smaller somehow. Or maybe I'd just grown. As I stepped off, cold air hit my face. Snowflakes landed softly on my coat, like tiny ghosts of memories I'd buried long ago. I walked toward the old house, the same front porch, the same blue door with chipped paint. Except now, there were no Christmas lights, no warmth, no sign that they were waiting for me. I knocked once, no answer. Twice, nothing. And then, the door opened. It was my mother. But when she looked at me, there was no joy, no tears. Just confusion. "Can I help you?" she asked. Her voice, cold, detached, like I was a stranger. "Mom, it's me. It's Lily." I tried to smile, my heart pounding in my chest, but she just stared. "I think you have the wrong house," she said quietly. Then she closed the door. I stood there, frozen. The snow kept falling, and I realized my own mother didn't recognize me. Or worse, she pretended not to. That night, I stayed at a motel on the edge of town. I barely slept. My mind kept replaying her face. How could she just erase me? The next morning, I went back. This time, my brother opened the door. He looked older, tired, but alive. "Jake?" I said softly. "It's me." He froze. Then his jaw tightened. "You shouldn't have come back," he whispered. And before I could respond, he slammed the door shut. Inside the house, I could hear voices. My father's deep tone, my mother's soft one. But no one came out. And that's when I noticed something strange. Through the frosted window, above the fireplace, a family photo. Mom, Dad, Jake, and an empty spot where I should have been. They'd erased me. I couldn't leave. Not like that. So I started digging. I went to the library, the one place that still felt familiar. Old newspapers, local archives, and that's when I found it. A small article, 10 years old. Local soldier missing in action, presumed dead. My name, my photo, my story. They thought I died, but that wasn't true. I had been in a hospital for months after the explosion. No ID, no memory. By the time I recovered, the Army told me there was no record of my family's location. So I stayed away until I finally remembered who I was. And now, they'd moved on. Not just moved on, they built a life without me. I decided to confront them one last time. When I returned, my mother was sitting on the porch. She looked tired, weak. But when she saw me, something flickered in her eyes. Fear. "Why did you come back?" she whispered. "Because I never stopped being your daughter. Because I wanted to know why you pretended I was dead." She turned away. Tears formed, but she said nothing. Then my father came out. His expression was cold, distant. "You should have stayed gone, Lily. You coming back, it ruins everything." "Everything?" I asked. What could possibly be ruined? I lost 10 years of my life. He clenched his jaw. "We mourned you. We buried an empty coffin. We rebuilt what we lost. And when the insurance came through, it saved us. Insurance. That's when it hit me. They didn't just move on. They profited from my death. My hands trembled. You used my death to get money? My mother sobbed. We had nothing. The house, Jake's surgery, your father's debts. I took a step back. You didn't even try to find me. My father's face hardened. We did what we had to do. You're not part of this family anymore. Something in me broke. That last piece of hope I'd held on to shattered. I walked away. And this time, I didn't look back. Weeks passed. I could have left it all behind. But I couldn't sleep knowing they'd chosen money over their own daughter. So, I decided to make things right. My way. I contacted the Army's legal office, told them everything. The false debt, the insurance fraud, the fake report. They opened an investigation. Within a month, my parents were charged. My father tried to deny it. My mother cried. And Jake, he finally called me. He said, "Lily, I didn't know. I thought you were gone. Dad made us believe it." And I believed him, because deep down, I still wanted to believe someone in that house had loved me. The court hearings were long, painful. Reporters called me the forgotten soldier. People asked me how I could turn against my own family. But they'd already turned against me long ago. 1 year later, I came back to that same house. It was empty now. The windows boarded, the paint peeling. I walked inside. Dust covered the walls. The memories still lingered in the air. I found the old photo again, the one above the fireplace. This time, I put my picture back where it belonged. And for the first time in 10 years, I didn't cry. I smiled, because I realized family isn't blood. It's the people who never forget you, even when the world does. As I walked away, snow began to fall again. Soft, silent, forgiving. I looked up at the gray sky and whispered, "I forgive you, but I'll never forget." And just like that, the wind carried away the last ghost of who I used to be. I wasn't the girl they buried anymore. I was the woman who survived.